January 1997. Deep in the frozen wilderness of Alaska, where the nights are long and the silence feels endless, a small government weather station sat alone in the snow. Only one man was on duty that night. His name was Daniel Harper, a radio operator responsible for monitoring atmospheric signals and communicating with nearby stations. Most nights were quiet. Too quiet. But on this night, something strange happened. At exactly 3:33 a.m., Daniel's radio equipment suddenly came to life. A signal was coming in. But this signal was unlike anything he had ever heard before. At first, Daniel thought it was just static. But then he noticed something strange. The sound wasn't random. It had a pattern. A repeating sequence. He adjusted the frequency, listening carefully through his headphones. What he heard made his heart race. The signal wasn't just noise. It was a series of numbers. Coordinates. Someone, or something, was transmitting location. Coordinates in the middle of the night. Every night, at exactly 3:33 a.m., the signal returned. Always the same numbers. Always the same location. Daniel began writing them down. Night after night. For an entire week the transmission continued. But the strangest thing was this: the coordinates pointed to a location deep in the Alaskan wilderness. A place where no towns existed. No military bases. Nothing at all. Just miles of frozen forest. After several days, Daniel reported the strange signal to his supervisors. At first, they assumed it was interference from a satellite or an old military transmitter. But when technicians analyzed the recordings, they discovered something disturbing. The signal was too precise. The coordinates never changed. It was almost like someone was intentionally repeating the message, over, and over, and over again. Eventually, a small investigation team was sent to the coordinates. The journey took hours by helicopter. Below them stretched endless snow-covered forests and frozen rivers. When they finally reached the location, they found something unexpected. Hidden beneath layers of snow and ice was a large metal hatch buried in the ground. A hatch that clearly led underground. The team cleared away the snow and slowly opened the metal hatch. A staircase led deep underground. What they found below shocked them. An abandoned bunker. Dust covered the equipment. Old computers lined the walls. And strange radio transmitters sat silently in the center of the room. It looked like the bunker had been abandoned for decades. But one thing didn't make sense. The radio equipment was still powered. Still transmitting the signal. The investigators searched the bunker for hours. But they found no records. No names. No explanation for who built the bunker. Or why it was sending the coordinates. But then one investigator discovered something strange. A recording device. Still running. Official reports claimed the bunker was an abandoned Cold War communication site. But many questions remain unanswered. Who built the bunker? Why was it sending those coordinates? And who recorded the warning? Even today, some radio operators in Alaska claim that once in a while, at exactly 3:33 a.m., a strange signal returns. Repeating the same coordinates. Waiting for someone to find it again. As the investigators explored deeper into the bunker, one of them noticed something strange on the dusty floor. Footprints. Fresh footprints. They weren't covered in dust like everything else in the bunker, which meant only one thing. Someone had been here recently. But the team had just opened the hatch. No one had entered before them. The investigators followed the footprints through a narrow corridor. But suddenly, the footprints just stopped. As if whoever made them had simply vanished. A heavy silence filled the bunker. And for the first time since entering, the investigators felt. They felt like they were not alone. As the team stood silently in the hallway, something suddenly happened. Back in the main control room of the bunker, one of the old radios turned on by itself. The speakers crackled with static. The investigators rushed back into the room. The signal was broadcasting again. But this time, the numbers were different. The coordinates had changed. And when the team checked the map, the new coordinates pointed to a location hundreds of miles away. Another remote area in Alaska. Another unknown location. Another possible bunker.